What's up, guys? Welcome back to A Trucker's Life. Thank you guys for being here with me again on this journey of being a truck driver across the United States. I am, of course, Gasolina 636, and I am very, very happy to have you guys here with me. Now, today is not going to be really much of a difference from our last trip because of what, it's the same place we came to last week. So pretty much the terrain is all going to be the same. I will show you a couple of clips here and there, fast forward clips, and of the trip going back home. Hopefully it's all going to be good and all going to be safe. No problems with the truck, no problems with the highway or anybody on the highway. Hopefully everybody is safe out there. But yeah, today is not going to be very, hopefully, in the trucking industry, hopefully it's not a very eventful day for the sake of, driving the truck out here. But other than that, we will have something to talk about today. I guess the topic today is going to be basically about, let's talk about the trucking industry. Let's talk about, ask me questions about the trucking industry as a whole. And I'll tell you guys what has changed in my years, what I've liked about the changes, what I don't like about the changes, and what basically I have to deal with on the changes. Now, this is a changing industry. It changes all the time. June 1st is supposed to be a big change in our Elog or our log situation. They're gonna do some changes on there, hopefully for the best. A lot of times it's not for the best for us because it kind of restricts us on making money, but it also, some of this stuff keeps us safe. Now, one of the things that has changed in my times that at first I hated it, I didn't want it, I didn't like it, was the whole Elog thing. The Elog, which is basically, let me see, turning you around. The Elog is basically, basically that guy right there. That's your Elog. Now, what that thing does is it tracks everything for you. Like it's a computer. It tracks the hours that you've been driving, the speed you've been driving. But it also tells you how much time you have left to drive, how much time you have before your 30-minute break, and it gives you a lot of information. Now the problem is, back in the days, what we used to do is we used to have a logbook, and on the logbook, it was real easy to fall into that bad habit deal, because a lot of the times dispatchers would they knew that you were gonna do the best you could to get things, the loads to where they were supposed to get in a timely manner, but sometimes they knew that you could do a little extra without really saying too much about that with your logbook, and you were able to get the load in a short period of time anyways. Now with these e-logs, you can't do that no more. Dispatchers can't push you as much anymore because what that e-log says is what it is, and there's no way around it. There's no way to I'm pretty sure guys out there have tried and figured out ways, but it's not very easy to get around these things because they are connected into the whole brain of your truck. So at the same time that it's telling you what you basically time you have left and stuff, it's also reading things off your truck, your mile per hour, your fuel, your fuel consumption, and sometimes it even tells you the state of your truck, if it's connected and if it has all the features. Now, that's a good thing, and I embrace that part, and I embrace the part that dispatchers can't run you into the ground like they used to. Now, the money is less because, of course, you can't do what you used to be able to do. Legally, you weren't really able to do it, but we did it anyways. And if there's an old school truck driver out there that says he did not do it, that guy's a liar, because 90% of everybody out here at one time has messed with the not with the e-log, with the logbooks. But now with these e-logs and these new mandates that everybody has to have these e-logs, there's no way to get around it. So let's just embrace it and deal with technology and go with it that way. Now the only thing that really sucks is that the industry as a whole the wages haven't really caught up with the way that they're doing things. And another thing is, not only that, the truck stops are starting to take advantage of this whole situation, that there's you have to stop at a certain time. You can't go a little further to get to another truck stop. So a lot of these major truck stops, not going to name any names, but a lot of the major truck stops have started charging to park. Now, we've already worked all day. We've done everything we're supposed to. We get to a truck stop expecting to find a place to park, which, I mean, even back in the days, it's been hard to find a place to park. But on top of that, you have to pay. Now, some of the truck stops, the only one that I've ever paid at is I paid about 18 bucks for the night. Now, $18 per night, you add that up, that's a lot of money. Now, there were some old school truck stops that their rules were, it was like $25 a night, but if you spent $25 or got a certain amount of fuel, they would give you a free parking for the night or for a couple of days, which is totally cool. But this new way that I know of now, don't quote me on it, you can guys go fact check it yourself, but the new way they're doing it is they're charging you the $18 regardless. Okay, so I just put fuel at your truck stop, I got food at your truck stop, I bought snacks at your truck stop, and you're still going to charge me for parking. And that's just another way of them taking advantage of the situation. There's no way that they're not making money, because we have to find a truck stop to park at. Not really a truck stop, but I mean, we have to find a place to park, and a lot of times it's the truck stop. Now, Walmart used to let a lot of us park at their parking areas, and it's slowly starting to go away. Why? Yes, it is our fault at the same time as truck drivers, because if you've noticed, a lot of times there's a big mess all over the parking lot because we did that. Now, us as truck drivers need to be more responsible. We need to pick up our messes. Of course, we need to keep everything clean, and a lot of us don't. Now, some of us try, but like I said, a lot of us don't. For those that don't, it ruins it for everybody else. And I mean, of course, Walmarts are we're always a safe place to park because they're well lit. And at the same time, if you need to go use the restroom, you need to go buy some groceries, get something to eat, everything was right there. Now, Walmart is starting to phase that away. And as a matter of fact, our company does not want us to park at a Walmart, period. Now, that kind of sucks to me because it kind of limits you even less, and then you have to go pay that $18 for these truck stops that are truck gouging, messing with us, overall. And then all this comes down with the Elog. The Elog is has us restricted to a certain thing, and I mean, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong, because I remember when I first started driving trucks and I used to be able to do all that other stuff. I would put myself in a situation where I would go through state after state after state without even remember what state I went through. That's how tired I was. But now with these E-logs, those days are over. I'm not ever tired anymore. Really, I get my enough rest. I get my my break, and that's that. I've learned to embrace it, but there's still a lot of people out there that are against it, and eventually, I mean, it's something that we're all going to deal with 100%. Right now, I think it's only the major companies are doing it, but it's going to be a mandate. I think next year. Don't quote me on that either. I think it's going to be the beginning of next year. It's going to have to. Everybody has to have the E-log. So, yeah, guys. I mean, that's just things of the trucking industry that. For us, for you guys that are non-truck drivers, if you guys can realize to see what all the stuff we really go through, it's not really just holding the steering wheel and going down the road. It's dealing with people, trucks, and cars alike that jump out in front of each other, could cause an accident. There's a lot of variables. We got way stations we have to deal with. We'll talk about the way stations some other time. We have DOT officers in some of these towns and some of these cities like Houston, matter of fact, because I know for a fact, because that's close to where I live, they target trucks all day long, and they have their own task force for trucks, and the way that they act is sometimes just crazy. But we'll have a discussion about that also, Houston DOT, because I've had quite a bit of experience with those guys. And what I think is, it's unfair. Now, guys, not all cops are unfair. Not all DOT officers are unfair. There's a lot of real good guys out there. A lot of great people out there. Great officers, gals and girls. and I have great stories when it comes to that also, because I have run across more good than I have bad. So, with all that being said, the trucking industry has changed quite a bit in some things. It is some things that stayed the same, changed in technology and in the way things are being done now, and stays the same because the trucks aren't really changing, innovating as much as they should. Some of them are, and it's just the wages haven't caught up with everything, and just stuff like that hasn't changed, and then the other stuff has changed. It's like as you're getting restricted more, you're getting paid the same. That's not things that anybody wants to hear as somebody that's interested in this industry, but it's true. Now, are you going to make money in this industry? Yes, you are. But you have to be willing to sacrifice your home time. If you're single and you're young, get your CDL, get out there, see this beautiful country, see everything there is to do here, because you're getting paid to travel the country and to be able to enjoy yourself. At situations where you're laid over, whatever, you go check out your country and you get to have fun. But at the same time, if you're a family man, you have to have, or a family woman, you have to have that significant other that is willing to deal and to understand the whole trucking industry, that you're going to be gone for maybe a week or 2 weeks at a time, or even longer. Now it depending on where you work. Sometimes I'll stay out a week, sometimes I'll stay out 2 weeks, but I normally don't go more than that. It's very important that like that, this communication with your family, with your kids, is real hard for your kids. I don't know how long I'm going to continue being an over-the-road truck driver. I know I'll probably be a truck driver the rest of my life because I really enjoy it. But at the same time, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing the over-the-road deal because of that same reason I'm telling you about. My kids are small. I have a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I also have a 21-year-old. But the two little ones are at my house, and they want to see more of their dad, and I totally understand because, I was like that too with my dad. Now, those are the downfalls. But as far as making money, I will, we will talk about that on another time. As far as making money, because it's a big spectrum, big difference between certain companies or certain things than others, and then some of them require more work, some of them require less. There are, as far as dry van, there's refrigerated, we call it reefers. There's tankers, is what I do. There's the car hauling. If there's, let's see, flatbedding, heavy hauling. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you could be as a truck driver. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that probably the lowest paid truck driver is probably making about $30,000 a year, which is not terrible. As soon as if you do this, like maybe right out of, well, you're not going to do it right out of high school because you mainly want to be a little bit older than that, about 21, 22, 23 years old maybe. And that is still a very good living. Now, as an owner-operator, you make more money, but there's a lot more expenses. So at the end of the day, sometimes it's better just to stay as a company driver, and as long as you find a good company to work for. Now, I've worked at a company where I made $80,000, $85,000 a year as a company driver. Now, that is pretty good money, and I did have some pretty good home time. But the problem was with that was that the industry I was working in just all of a sudden, boop, took a fall, and that was it on that. So you also have to be able to find a company that doesn't really, every company relies on the economy, right? But some of them more than others, and some of them rely more on like the petrochemical industry, and some of them rely more on manufacturing, so depending on the company that you go work for that is more diverse on what they have, then you'll be able to do different things. If something falls out, then you go do something else. So, and that's the thing, that's the reason that I got out of, that company that I was working for. It was a, real good, it was a pretty good company. They had great benefits. They had, their pay was okay. Like I said, I made a real good living, and I enjoyed it. Now I'm an owner-operator. I work for, I'm leased onto a company that they do, the company we were leased onto did mostly owner-operators, and now we got bought out by a company that has a lot of their own trucks. Now, there's a little bit of conflict of interest there because, you know, they have their own trucks. Why use owner-operators? Now, I'm not going to down-talk anybody because, you know, it's just not good to do because, I mean, at the end of the day, I work here and I don't want to cause any problems. But, you know, there are problems that are happening, and hopefully they get changed. A lot of times they don't because, I mean, big companies, really it's more about them at the end of the day, not for really your employees. But so that's basically it, guys. I mean, a little bit of what it is as being a truck driver, and we'll dig in more into some of those topics, and so you guys can really get the gist of it, and just figure out if this is for you or it's not, because this is not for everybody. Now, a lot of people can do it, and a lot of people have done it, but it's not for everybody. You have to have yourself. You have to have the backup from your family if you have a family, and that is all hard to get and hard to put together. But with that being said, guys, I need to get on the road. I am going to turn around. I mean, I'm going to go log in, get out, do my pre-trip inspection, check everything, make sure the truck is ready to go, make sure there's nothing that's dangling, missing, or dripping underneath the truck or the trailer, you know, because I am hauling a tanker. And yeah, we're gonna get back on the road, guys, so we see you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, here I am right outside of Knoxville, about to get my truck washed because she is very dirty. You can see, I really don't have a preference as long as they do a good job. I just get the basic wash is all I get. It's about 40 to 45 bucks wherever I go, and then you know, as I go, I'll put some tire shine on it and, you know, stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really go for the high wash, because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I like to having a clean truck, but also at the end of the day, you know, we're out here. I'm about to be driving at night. I'm gonna get bugs all up front and everything, and spending like 75 to 100 bucks on a wash really don't make no sense if it's just gonna get, you know, messed up in the front again. But a $40 wash, they get it pretty clean, and then you just go from there. So